So, how much do you know about how Desperados operated?
I was at the lowest possible tier of information disclosure, beneath standard contractors. As it was explained to me, contractors need at least some information divulged to them. I did not.
Oh, come on. Tell the dog what's going on.
I had no contract and no rights. I was kept in the dark. My knowledge is no deeper than what is already generally known throughout the industry.
Couldn't you hack into their network or something?
Oh, here's the good stuff.
Perhaps, if I had free access to a computer. Also, hands.
Yep, that's a good
Those
one.
are necessary to operate a keyboard.
Yeah, but you are a computer.
He's not.
It is not so simple. There are protocol issues. Neuro AIs are far closer in structure to the human brain than standard von Neumann architecture computers.
Well, I would have tried anyway. Did you have contact with anyone besides Mistral?
I engaged in tandem field operations with Sam on several occasions.
Ah.
However, he was even more difficult for me to comprehend than Mistral.
I bet.
So there's a lot of codec calls in this game, like I said. We're not going to listen to a whole lot more as we go on. I'm just trying to get a couple of the more interesting ones about the characters' backstories and a lot to do with the AIs and the
So you said
SOP
it took
and all
3
that.
years to learn how to speak, right?
Wolf has
Given
some
enough
really
time,
interesting
could
ones
any
about
AI
his
be
nature of
taught that
being
too?
a true
I cannot
neuro
assert
AI.
that.
Again,
A
unlike
neuro
the
AI is only
stuff we
capable
have
of learning new
nowadays.
things, not growing and replenishing its own cells. Thus, each neuro AI is equipped with a predetermined capacity.
So this is
that
interesting.
cannot be
He can
altered.
only be so
My
intelligent.
AI contains 90 billion neurons, more than a human being. A normal LQ-84 model possesses only 1.6 billion.
That's a big difference.
Relatively, yes. I doubt any amount of learning period would enable an LQ-84 to speak. It would be similar to attempting to teach a dog how to converse. A combination of appropriate instruction and an ample neuron count are required to accomplish the feat.
So if someone else made a neuro AI with the same capacity or more...
Other AIs as conversant as I are a possibility. Yes, robotic pets with neuro AIs are already on the market. And I understand research and development are underway to create a model capable of conversation. Do not be surprised if such a pet becomes available before too long.
If that becomes commonplace, hard to imagine.
So,
Is it? The human race has willingly embraced all of its other inventions so far. Steam engines, electricity, the internet.
the internet, we love the
cyborgs.
internet.
Perhaps the day will come when conversing with AIs, too, is considered perfectly normal.
So if you remember,
Maybe. As normal as being
Raiden
a cyborg is
wanted
now, at least.
to see if Blade Wolf could be repaired in any way, so he could talk with him more and get some insight into how Blade Wolf works, and to try and shed some light on what happened at the end of MGS2. It's interesting, the more we talk to Blade Wolf, the more it comes across as the AIs in MGS2 maybe weren't capable of speech and thinking and were just pre-programmed.
Failure or not, you're better off than an AI that knows nothing but how to fight.
I am pleased to hear you say that.
And of course, you know, Raiden starts to learn a little more that, yeah, the nature of Blade Wolf is not the same as the nature of the Patriot AIs. And so he kind of, you know, they grow closer. These are very interesting. I wish that we saw a little more of this in the game, but I'm glad that they're in the codec form. Again, there are so many of these, and they're fascinating to me,
What do you
but...
think you're doing here? I mean, why are you working?
Oh, I think we've looped around, yes.
What do you...
So there's only so many per area, which is good, but, you know.
Man, I couldn't have imagined anyone would cut the brains out
That's a
of kids.
hell of a starting line there,
What are they
Kev.
even doing this for? Why make them into cyborgs?
I don't know. They say child soldiers are both bolder and more obedient than adults, but
They are, on both counts. But the surgeries alone would cost a fortune, not to mention all the training.
yeah, I don't get it either. For now, you just look for the kids they haven't operated on yet. We come in too late on this, and things are gonna get a whole lot messier.
Yep, we gotta save the childers.
Man.
Okay, so he's saying the same
but the
things.
Yeah. We come.
Raiden, I said earlier this is an infiltration mission. But if it comes to combat when rescuing the children...
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's
be
certainly
it.
come to combat more than
Enemy
once for
cyborgs
us.
Attack, you are free to respond with all available force.
I think
So this is kind of like a sequel to
Attacking
him
first,
talking about the
that would
rules
be
of
a gray
engagement
area,
earlier.
legally speaking. But I doubt anyone would take us to court over it.
Yeah, I doubt it too.
Just keep your hands off all non-combatants.
Of course.
That would violate international law, not to mention morals of company.
I hear you. I'm worried about the kids they haven't got to yet. But what about those brain units? They're just brains, but they're still alive. I won't just abandon them.
That was an awkward pause.
I will discuss with Doctor. There must be artificial bodies they can use, not like the combat type you have. Maintenance must be considered, of course. But with today's technology, they can at least live comfortably enough as cyborgs.
That's right, we're gonna save all the
maybe.
childers, even the ones that are just
Physically,
brains.
Anyway, society may say otherwise.
Yes, but we will worry
Yeah,
about such
cyborg
problems after
racism.
they
There's
are
a whole lot of codex
For
about
now,
that too. It's
Let us
fascinating.
concentrate on
The world that this game
intact
constructs is
children first.
really, really cool.
got
I
it.
really hope we get a continuation of this part of the Metal Gear world at some point. Doctor?
Shall we review?
Nope, he's looped around to that. He always loops around to this when you load the game. So it's very hard to actually get all of the codec calls
And
Well, it all has.
Huh?
live recorded in an eloquent way because he always loops around, making my job here a little harder. Courtney,
Extracting children's brains.
that's pretty messed
Can't
up,
we
yeah.
do anything?
I don't know.
I could
That's
cut some
something I
people
need to
apart with my
discuss with
ninja
Doc.
sword.
For now, I gotta worry about the kids they haven't operated on yet. As long as they're held hostage, no way am I gonna be able to get the brains out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, you better hurry.
I will.
Oh, but maybe you should save first.
I also will do that, yes.
Save complete. Be careful, Raiden.